and today is Saturday, January 22nd, 2022. Welcome to my channel about cross stitch. I'm so glad that you are here spending part of your day or your evening with me. It is 24 hours of cross stitch weekend, which just means you try to stitch for 24 hours this weekend. This is the brainchild of Jen Lee. There's a Facebook group, I think it's just called hashtag 24 hours of cross stitch. I got my coffee here. The mug says, I like people who smile in the rain. This is a Christmas gift from a very dear friend of mine. Yeah, so let's get into it. I am behind on comments per usual, so I have not had a chance to read your comments yet from the last video. We started, classes started this week, so it was a very busy week. Everything went well. We are remote for the first 3 weeks of the semester so far. So we have 1 week down. I'm only teaching, I just teach one class for my main job. I teach one class a term, and then sometimes I have a side job that I also teach at, but I'm not teaching this quarter. One school's on quarter system, one school's on semester system. It's a whole thing. Anyway, so it was a really, really great week with the class, with the students. They seem really fun. They seem really engaged, which is really, really nice. So yeah, so it was a good week, but it was a very, very busy week as well. We are back in the swing of the semester again. One thing I wanted to tell you about is something called Stitch the Winter Olympics. It's a hashtag you can use, hashtag Stitch the Winter Olympics. And it's hosted by the Naptime Stitcher. It's over on Instagram. And she is hosting it's very similar to Bringo, actually. She has these challenges lined up for you. So there's a prompt for each day of the Olympics, February 4th through February 20th. And you just try to find a piece that meets that challenge, or that prompt, rather. There's no Bringo board or anything, so I guess it's not exactly like Bringo. But so you can see the opening ceremony on 2/4, new start, or something you started in 2022. So you can just kind of go through this whole list. She did post it in the Garon Facebook group as well. But if you are interested, they're using hashtag Stitch the Winter Olympics. I'm going to participate. I think it's really fun and a really fun way to kind of watch the Olympics while stitching along with it. And again, that is hosted by the Naptime Stitcher on Instagram. So you can take a look at that. So this week I worked on my Bringo board. Here is what my Bringo board looks like now. You can see I have 5 Bringos so far. This one would be a Bringo, but I haven't stitched on that one yet, even though I stitched on this one last night. But anyway, we're getting there. We are almost down. Look, we have 1, 2, 3 more calls to go. So we are getting down to the wire. Yeah, it's the 22nd, so, and it ends on the 25th. So that makes sense. It all checks out. Whew. It's always nice when that happens. So let me show you what I have been working on. So first up, okay, this is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. I did this for call number 6, which is a whip or new start that is out of season. So I'm doing Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. It is also my whip go call for this month. This is what it looks like. This is by Carriage House Samplings. Last year I finished these 2 first blocks, and then this year my goal is these 2 blocks. Then we'll have the top row done. So I am right here. I don't feel like I've gotten a lot done on it. I also, if you recall from last week's video, for 24 hours of cross stitch, what my plan is, because I'm having trouble fitting in the whip go pieces this month because of Bringo, so my plan is stitching on this piece, which is one of my whip go calls, for 3 hours each day. Last night I only got 2 hours in, so today I'm going to try to do 4 hours, and then spend 3 hours each day working on whatever the Bringo call is. So this is where I'm at. So I got the border done for block. This is block 3, and this is going to be it's 310. It's a tree all the way up the side, and then there's another one all the way up there. I'll show you the picture again. So here, this tree is what I'm working on. And it's all in 310, so it's not the most exciting. I mean, I think it's going to have a cool effect when it's done, but it's not the most exciting stitching because the border's all in black, and then you do this whole tree all in black as well, but I'm getting there. So yes, I will be stitching on this. My goal is 4 hours on it today, and then another 3 hours on it tomorrow. And then that should get me to the 12 hours for the month for Whip Go, because I'm also double dipping on this with Bringo. And so this was the piece that was out of season. So I kind of doubled up there for it to count for Whip Go and Bringo. Okay, next we have number 17. I'm getting myself confused here, I think. No. Here it is. Sorry. So number 17 is Whip or New Start with a Bird. Mine is my Oregon bag from Garon. And the one I am working on is Early Bird Bouquets. This is designed by, I think it's Felicity Hall. Felicity Hall. Yes, Early Bird Bouquets. And I plan to do all 3 of them. I'm working on this top one right here. So I'm working on getting the cup done, the mug. And this is in the April 2019 issue of Cross Stitcher magazine. I don't know if this one is still around or not. Jan Hicks of Jan Hicks Creates showed this a long time ago on her channel, and I said, I love those. I need to stitch them. And I even love how they have the coordinating colored hoops. So I will try to do that as well. So my progress again on that first one, and I am just stitching these on 28 count antique white Lugana. So it's a really simple, lovely fabric to work on. I love working on it. This is also my B for Bringo in the acrostic for the month. The monthly acrostic is Bringo. I have not forgotten about that. So birds or bouquet. So this is where I've gotten. I would have the mug done, except I realized I stitched this level of the flower where you see no stitching in. Used to be stitched. I stitched it all in the wrong color. So I ripped that out, and the next time this comes out, I will fix that. And then I'm going to do the back stitching before I move on up to the bird, because there's a lot of back stitching in this. That's kind of what makes it, you know, with the stems of the flowers and all that. So I figure I'll just do it piece by piece. I love this needle minder too. But yeah, so that's where I'm at on the first one. So it actually looks like a mug now, which is fun. So this one, my goal for this project is 18 hours for this year, I think I said. So if I finish this particular one before those 18 hours are up, I'll just move on to the second one because I do want to do all 3. All right, so that's Early Bird Bouquets. Next up is number 8, Whip or New Start of your choice. Make sure, yes. And I had to move it, Kay, I'm sorry, I had to move it out of the bag that you gave me of the cats because I put it on scroll frames. It's not on scroll frames right now, but I did put it on scroll frames. So my choice was Cat Alphabet, which is, I'm not sure if I said that first. But Kay, I used to have it in that bag, and I did move it out, and I'll use your bag for a smaller project. But this is what it will look like. Cat Alphabet, it's a Heaven on Earth Designs. It's by, artwork is by Irina Garmashova. This is what it will look like. I am working on this first block, Cat, so I am almost as far over where that yellow, and where right before the grain starts, right where the yellow is. So that's kind of where I'm working on. My goal in this piece is to bring it out, is basically just 3 hours a month, and see how much progress I can get. And I'm just stitching this on a 18 count Aida. It's a huge piece, so I have to find it let's not get it in the coffee now. Okay, so this is where I'm at. So you can see I got a good amount done. I worked my way over. This is all filled in now. Oops, here. There you go. And you can see this is the curve of the C for the words cat alphabet. So that's where I'm at. I mean, it doesn't look like much, but I love stitching on this, and I think it's because I forgot to check how many stitches I get. I do use Pattern Keeper for this. I think I had like 400 maybe. But there's a lot of kind of block stitching in this, at least on this first block that I'm working on, because I mean, there is some confetti, but it's not too bad. So it's a little bit faster. So it's really fun to stitch, and I'm really loving seeing it kind of come to life. So that is cat alphabet, whip of my choice. Next up, number 25 is stitch on your favorite holiday. So we brought out Christmas at Hawk-Run Hollow, which will look like this. So I am on the second block. So my goal for this year is blocks 2 and 3. This is also on my Whip Go board, but it was not called for this year, or this month, I mean. And I forgot to mention on my Halloween one, all my Hawk-Run Hollows I am stitching on 32 count Vanilla Latte by Bestitch Me. I think I forgot to mention that. Okay, this really doesn't look like much at all. I got the border done. And then if you look really closely, I got some of that snow done. And so that's all I got done. I don't know why. These borders are just taking me a really long time. So they take me close to 2.5 hours to do just the border. But I like to start with the border and then I can fill in from there. That snow is a Karen Water Lilies, I think, silk thread. So that was fun to work with. I did get the silk for that. But all the others, I'm using mostly DMC for my Hawk-Run Hollows, even though they call for MPI silks. Okay, next up is my oldest whip, which my oldest whip is called A Christmas Celebration. It's by Cross Decor. And this is what it looks like. Sorry about that glare. This is what it'll look like. I'm up here in this area. I started this in August 2018 when I got back into cross stitch. I bought it as a kit. So I'm using the kit fabric. It's 14 count Aida. I bought it as a kit to be delivered when I went to go visit my folks, so I could get it right away. So this is where I'm at. You can see the chimney. That is a chimney. It looks a little phallic, but I promise it's a chimney. And so what I did is I worked on all these lights. I finished up these lights around the house, and then I filled in the roof of the house and whatnot. So it was fun to get some color in because I've just been working in these blues and purples a lot of the time. So it's kind of nice to get that filled in and start seeing, okay, these are rooftops coming in. My goal on this one for the year, I think, is 15 hours, which is far more than I've worked on it in the past, other than when I first started it. So I'd like to get some good progress on it and, you know, one day finish it up because I do like the picture. I'm going to have a lot of Christmas cross-stitch to hang up, or winter cross-stitch to hang up. Okay, next up is my largest whip that was called, and this is Cardinal Cottage, Cardinal Cottage, another Haid. It's by artwork is by Donna Gelsinger. This is what it will look like. I think it's beautiful. I love it. And of course, I'm up here in this corner. Let's see if we can pull it out. I think I still have it on the Q-Snips. This is another one that I plan to work on, bring it out once a month, try to get 3 hours in it just to continue making progress. This is where I got to. It doesn't look like much. It's just kind of the dusk sky and the trees there. So not much. Doesn't look like much, but, you know, you got to start somewhere. So I got that done. And so it'll be fun to see with those Haids how much progress I can make just pulling each one of them out once a month. And it is fun to add them into certain challenges and stuff. And eventually I think I will maybe add them to my whip go board one year, or maybe say, hey, I'm going to focus on them for 24 hours of cross stitch one weekend or something like that. Okay, and the last whip that I worked on was Stitch with Your Favorite Floss. And so for this one, I chose Christmas Dinner by Stardust. It will look like this. And there is silk threads in here. So some of it's DMC. It's mostly DMC, but there is some silk threads. So I love stitching with silk. So I pulled this out. And I'm back here in this area. So kind of have it up to here done. But I'm saving the front part till I think until I get, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do it. Maybe I'll start working down and get some of these animals and then just work my way across. I'm not sure yet. But anyway. So, this one is stitched on a 32 count light linen. There is some Krynic in there to make it sparkly. I don't know if you can see. And there will be beads. You can see a lot of these holes. Those are for beads, which I will do at the end. So, where I worked on last night is I finished up kind of where I was on this page here and then in here. And you can see I made a mistake, and so I had to rip out some, and I have to go back in and fill back in that mountaintop, essentially, is what it is. And then there is a tree in here somewhere. And I realized that I'm going to have to, if you remember, I ripped out a bunch of stuff because this is what you get for not reading directions. I was using 2 strands, and the directions very clearly say use 1 strand. So I did rip it out because it does make a difference with this. This is kind of like dimensions kits, right? Where there's a reason they want you to use 1 or 2 strands, and it's to give it dimension. And so it wants it to kind of fade into the background. And you can see here I have 2 strands. Now this part is just DMC, so it's fine. I just didn't feel like ripping it out. Honestly, I just didn't want to. I wanted to make more progress last night. And you can see there's all these holes because there's so many beads that need to go in afterwards. And you can see I'm down here with the little bears. They need their little faces put on. And so I haven't decided, am I going to continue working down or across? So I'm kind of at a point where I need to move the Q-snap. Once I finish up this area, I will, you know, there's a little more. This whole tree, though, is all back stitched in. And I don't know. I think I might, I can't decide if I want to go ahead and just do it or wait till the end. I might wait to the end because that is a lot of back stitching and to potentially get messed up. So that's where I'm at. This will come out again because it was on my Whipco board. This is the piece I need to do a makeup for because I chose to work on Princess Ileana at the beginning of the month for the hashtag Aron Designer Focus this month, which is Mirabillia's. Also for Candy's birthday. Candy, the 614 stitcher, for her birthday as well. Okay. That's all my whips this week. That's a lot. I'm going to take a sip here. Let's move on to haul. I did get some. Let's start with Stitchy Kindness. So I got a package in the mail. It is from Stitch in Button, Victoria, but it was sent from EJ of Sunshine Stitchers. She sent me these adorable cat needle minders. One says, if I fits, I sits. Isn't that cute? And it's so true. And I heart black cats, which I really love black cats. So EJ knows me very, very well. She said, this is for your cat alphabet piece. So thank you. I can take my Halloween needle minder off and you put one of these on, and I will do that right after this. And I also got these thread drops that were sent along as well. And this really cute way of writing a little note, a little message on it. I won't show that, but I think that's really pretty too. So thank you so much, EJ. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Victoria, for sending that along. Yeah, I love it. So then I placed an order from Garan, and this is in line with hashtag Garan Designer Focus. Next month is hands-on design. So February is hands-on design. I have one from from her. It's called The Basket. I didn't bring it down. It is not available to the public. It is from a retreat I went to through Acorns and Threads. It was a virtual retreat in October. So I'm going to work on that one. But I also have been eyeing the Scary Apothecary charts because I really love the idea of creating a banner. And she has several others of these, but there's only maybe 3 in each one. And this one has, I think, 8 or 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So I got these from Garon. So cackle lozenges, coffin paint, cauldron cleaner, snail slime, skeleton polish, spider legs, ew, bat balm, bitter brew, and broomstick fuel. So I just think these are really darling, and I love kind of the purples and greens and all that. So they also have the Krynic pack, because you need a lot of Krynic for it, so I bought the Krynic pack. And then I also picked up a couple of fabrics to put them on. Now these fabrics will be plenty large enough. This is a 32 count Witchell in lime. And then I got a 32 count, this is from Fox and Rabbit in Tabuchina. It's purple. And then I want to get a really like bright Halloween orange as well. And then stitch 3 on each of these pieces. So there'll be 3 on orange, 3 on lime green, and then 3 on purple. And I think that will make it really festive. So I got that. I got my Color and Cotton Fabric of the Month. I forgot to cancel it. I was going to only do it through last year. So this is the January 2022. I have since canceled it, and this is chamomile. I'm only canceling because I have enough. So that's the only reason. Because I love their fabric. So I will definitely add that to my stash. Whoops, but that's okay. All right, so that was that. And then I placed an order from 123 Stitch to get, I may have all the rest of these now. The Time for All Seasons series. So this is Snow Time. This is Strawberry Harvest. And this little guy, Summer at the Shore. So I got those. So I think maybe now I have all of them. I'm not sure. And then I got 2 large pieces of 32 count Vintage Belfast Linen and Country Mocha. I got 2 big pieces because I want to stitch last year's and this year's on the same fabric all in one piece. So they're going to be giant. But that's what I'm going to do, I think. We'll see. But I just think it's going to be easier to display one big piece than like 12 smaller pieces, right? And I'm thinking of finishing all that and all that. So that's why I think I'm going to do it all on one big piece. So I got the fabric for that. And then I was completely enabled by Sarah at Stitching Mommy. She showed these on her Flosstube channel, and I loved them, so I ran and ordered them. So let me show you what I got. So these are from Painfree Charts, or I'm sorry, Painfree Crafts, and Pain is spelled P-A-I-N-E. They are full coverage. They are legitimate. They give credit to the artists. So these are seasonal montage is what it is. So Kim, if you're watching, I think you need these because I know you like to stitch seasonally as well. So first, so the artwork is by Janet Stever, and here's Autumn Montage, and I just like how it's kind of blocked out a lot. I really like that one. So that's Autumn. This is Spring Montage. And I'm thinking I might start this for, in March, kind of for my birthday. Do I need another full coverage piece that's 340 stitches by 435 stitches? No. Am I probably going to start anyway? Yeah, probably. And look at those little eggs. I think they're so pretty. They're so kind of like old-timey and classic, and I just love them. And then this is Summer Montage, which I love. Like, it's just one of those things you could just stare at for forever and always see something new. And then this is winter. This is the one that Sarah is going to be starting, I think, in February, maybe. And that one also is just breathtakingly beautiful. And then I was on the site, and then I picked up one that's not in that series. It's called Winter in the Village, and the artwork is by Tula Berger. But this is totally my style. Lots happening, lots going on. You could stare at it for hours and always find something new. I love it. There's going to be a lot of white to stitch. But I love it. I might have to get a cone for that one when I'm ready to start that one. Anyway, so I don't necessarily, I say this now, I don't necessarily plan to start each one this year. The spring one really calls to me right now because obviously, I mean, it's January, but we've been hitting 60 degrees in January, which is not normal. We should be in like low to mid 40s maybe. So this one is kind of calling to me, so I think I'll give it a go and just kind of start on it in March, use it as an excuse for my birthday as an excuse to start on it. So that is my haul. So now plans, I'm going to finish up 24 hours of cross stitch. Like I said, I got 5 hours done last night. Fridays are always hard because, you know, I work till 5, and so then I have to get dinner and all this. So today I wanted to film this, and then I'm going to just kind of upload it. No editing, anything like that. I'm going to upload it, and then I'm going to stitch. I'm going to try to do 7 hours today because it's 24 hours of cross stitch. I'm aiming for 18 if I didn't already say that. So I need to do 7 today to make up for the hour short I was last night. So like I said, I'm going to work on Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow for 4 hours today and 3 hours tomorrow, and that should get me to my 12 hours for the month, so I can check that box off of the WIPCO board. And then I'm going to work on, so for today, the Bringo call for today, I do know that one. I was a little late in calling it last night. I do appreciate everybody who was like worried about me and making sure and checking in, making sure that I was okay. Because I had to run a couple of quick errands after work last night, and then I came home and I just sat down and started stitching, and then Kim of Stitch and Stuff, Kim and her daughter Sarah from Stitching Stuff, you should totally check out their channel, they're amazing. Kim messaged me and she's like, "Are you okay? Like, people are worried about you because you haven't called the Bringo number yet." And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I do apologize. I think it was like closer to 9 my time when I called it. So I apologize for that. But the call for today is something that reminds you of your childhood. Now, I had a last minute change on this one because I really wanted to start the Beatrix Potter. I have a calendar with, I think it has like 6 different Beatrix Potter charts in it. I love it. I have it all kitted up. It's all ready to go. I didn't start it last year for Bringo. I think maybe I just ran short of time or something. I'm not sure why I didn't start it last year for Bringo. And the last minute before midnight on December 31st, I changed it because I haven't pulled this one out in a long time. And I was like, well, this is my way of being responsible. You know, like, do I start a new series or do I pick up a piece I've been working on? So this is what it is. So this is Scenic Farm. It's by Dimensions. They recently re-released it as a kit. And the reason why this reminds me of my childhood is, like, I did not grow up on a farm or anything like that, but I grew up in Nebraska, and a lot of Nebraska looks exactly like this. So this reminds me of my childhood. And you see there's little sheep in there. And I started it 2019, maybe? I can't remember when I started it. I do not have very much done on it at all. This is probably 28, maybe 25 count. I changed the fabric, so you can see it's kind of long. And this is as far as I've gotten. I think it's 25 count because I'm doing it over 1. This does not look good. I bet this is 25 count over 1. I don't know. I don't have a lot done. I think my goal on this was like 15 hours this year. I am not liking these stitches now that I'm looking at it at all. We'll probably have a restart on this. That's my guess. yeah, so I'll probably restart that tonight. It came as a kit, so I didn't use the fabric, and I am using all the floss and everything that came with it. It's a beautiful one. I love it, and I'm excited to work on it, but I just need to get it out and pull it out regularly. So maybe if I change the fabric, I'll be more inclined. So I'm going to work on that tonight, and then whatever is called tomorrow for Bringo. Bringo ends on Tuesday, so then we'll kind of be free. I have that one day to make up on Christmas dinner, so I'll work on Christmas dinner after Tuesday for one evening. And then my other WIPCO piece for this month is Hoity Toity. And again, it's 12 hours, so I will work on that at the end of this month. Hoity Toity, so I should be able to get 12 hours in. And maybe a new start. I want to start on, so it's this year's series with the fox, and the swans have already been released, and they just showed the third one, which is a bunny. I don't have any of them yet. I think they're on order from Acorns. So I will check on that. And then, and then next Sunday, well, I guess I'll talk to you before then. But next Sunday, I'm doing another virtual retreat with Acorns and Threads. It's just the one day. It's full, unfortunately. But I have to go to Acorns and pick up my kit. There's, they have a pattern and a designer. We don't even know who the designer is. It's all a secret. So I'm super excited about that as well. So it'll be another busy week, and but it should be fun and productive. So I hope you all are doing well and staying safe, and have a wonderful stitchy week. And if you're participating in 24 hours of cross stitch, I hope you are doing what you can do, even if it's not 24 hours. I think I've only ever actually met 24 hours once, and that was when I wasn't working on Fridays. Well, now I work on Fridays, so it's really hard for me to get 24 hours in. So even 18 is like a push, but I feel pretty proud if I can get 18 hours in, because that's far more, it's stitching. It's fun to participate. So, even if, I always get more stitching done than I normally would on these weekends. And it's nice to just say, I'm not doing anything. I'm blowing off all my chores and my errands in order to stitch. So I'm going to go upload this quickly so that I can get to stitching, and I hope you have a wonderful week. I'll see you next week. Bye.